My very first mobile home park that I bought created a 15% cash on cash return in the first year. Now, before I bought it, I thought that was the number I was going to get, and I was extremely excited. But when the first year came around, I did get the 15% cash on cash return, but I actually found myself pretty disappointed. And here's why: I only had 15% of the cash in my bank that I started the year with. And that shaped my view on real estate deals from then on out because I learned something called the difference between return on capital and the return of capital. And in this video, I'm going to dive into the details of what that is and why every real estate investor needs to be thinking about this when they do deals. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Jeff Flynn, and over the past 4.5 years, I've been buying mobile home parks all across the Southeast, focused mostly on Alabama. And if you haven't had the chance, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel so you can get more information on videos like this when I put them out. Now, like I said, the investor side of my brain at the end of this first year was extremely excited. I mean, 15% returns the first year is really competitive, and most real estate investors would be floored to have something like that. But the reality was I put 50 grand into this deal. I had two other partners who also put in 50 grand, and I ended up with $7,500. So I was down about $40,000 in terms of cash I had. Now, of course, yes, you can look at a spreadsheet or an appraisal and say, oh, you have all this equity, and if you want to sell it, you can sell it and get your money out. But can you? I mean, if I got to go to Walmart and buy groceries, they don't care how much equity I have in some mobile home park. They want to know how much cash I have. And that's when the reality hit me. I started thinking, hey, maybe real estate sucks. Maybe you have to do this once you already have millions and you can put this into it because it's going to take you so long to get it back. And I really honestly started questioning if this was the route that I wanted to go. Now, that was around the time that I sat down and did this calculation, which you see here, and basically tried to figure out how realistic was what I was trying to do, which was basically at the time, I was trying to make a bunch of money from my job, pour it into real estate, and just keep doing that until I got to the point where my cash flow exceeded my income. And I was a real estate broker at the time, so income wasn't like a guaranteed thing. I had to scratch and claw for every little bit of it. And this is basically what I looked at. If I could keep doing the deal I just did over and over, it takes me almost 7 years to get my money back and just start where I began. Now, if I really hit home run deals, which is like a 20% cash on cash return, I'm still looking at 5 years. And if I just went insane and got a 25% cash on cash return, again, from year one, which is pretty hard to do, it would take me 4 years to do that. And I was sitting here thinking, man, like that is tough. How do I keep doing that? And by the way, every time I come across a new deal, I got to put the money back into it. So at this point, it's kind of tough to tell. Like, what are you really going to do to get to your goal if you don't have millions at your disposal to keep going? Now, 4 years later, sitting back looking at this, I would honestly say that 15% cash on cash returns the first year, this deal was the best deal I ever did in terms of that metric, cash on cash return in year one. So how did I end up buying 13 properties when the first one made me question if I was going to be able to keep doing this? Well, part of the answer is that I started using other people's money, which helps. But the reality is that I started reframing what was a good deal. And what it told me was cash on cash return is not how I wanted to judge it. I switched to started looking at deals from the perspective of how quickly can I get a return of my money, not a return on my money. Now, what I mean by that, the returns that I can get on the first year in terms of cash flow, those are great. But like I said, even in slam dunk deals, it's going to take me a while to get back to where I started. But I can find lots of deals where I can boost the value of the property enough to go to a bank, get a loan, refinance, and get my money back from that. And so that became my new standard for deals. How quickly can I get a return of my money? So now, typically, I try to really push it and get anywhere from the year 2 to 3. I want to be able to refinance that property, pull my money out, whether it's my money or investors' money, and then be able to redeploy it. And that switch of my mindset of, hey, years 1, 2, and 3, they're even if you get a home run, it's really not going to make that big a difference. How quickly can I take a deal and get my money back through a refinance? That is what allowed me to start doing deal after deal after deal because I looked at deals that way. And I wasn't trying to squeeze every bit of life out of these deals and absolutely crush it in the first couple of years. It was just a long-term switch to, hey, if I can get the money back, I'm happy. Cash flow after a refinance is what really is profit. Anything before the refinance is okay, but you're still going to be in the negative for at least 5 years unless you're just doing an absolutely insane deal. Here's what I actually ended up doing with that deal. Now, in the beginning, I did what most real estate investors do when they're newbies, and I highly discourage this, but I was trying to use some of the cash flow to increase the value of the property. Now, I realized about a year and a half in that we needed to do the roads, we needed to do some other things, and I either had to put some more money in to just get that done, or it was going to take me years to really get it where I wanted to. So, with that new mindset, I decided, you know what, let's just do the roads now. So, we spent an extra 50K, with which we were actually able to get from a line of credit. So, we didn't come out of pocket for that, but we got the line of credit. We increased the value of the roads. We got it reappraised. 2 years and 2 months after closing on it, the value was 1.1 million. So I'm able to go back to the original 600,000 I had paid for it. I was able to get a new loan, pay off the old loan, and basically return the original investment that I had. So at this point, 2 years and 2 months into it, I've been made whole, and I've actually just drove the property recently. This is what it looks like. Alrighty, so I am actually right now at the first mobile home park that I ever bought and still own. And to date, I have not sold any of the parks I've ever bought. So everything I've bought, I still own. But I went under contract on this one when I was active duty in the Navy. And so I was really getting after it, was scared out of my mind to buy this thing. Had no idea what I was doing. Got some partners to help out with it. But what we ended up doing, we bought it. This was in 2022, and so we bought it. I refinanced it 2 years later, so our money has not been in this deal for a little over 2 years now, and we still get checks from it every single month. The three of us, my two partners and I, we still get checks. It's pretty incredible to see over time what these things start doing, because they're just stable. Like, I come here, I don't always come to this one when I come down here and check on everything, just because it's usually looks exactly the same. There's nothing really to do. But it shows to me, this one is a great example of the power of just not waiting to buy real estate, but buying real estate, and then you wait. And that's what we've done here. We've bought this, and as we wait, it just continues to bump up its rents a little bit each year. The cash flow just gets a little bit better. Our loan stays the same. And yeah, it just moves right along like it should. So there you go. That's what shaped my real estate strategy to what it is today, which is basically find a property that I can put money into, and as quickly as possible, get that money out, and then just hold it forever. Once you've gotten your money back, you really shouldn't have any crazy expectations for properties anyway. And once you start compounding that by buying a property here and there and there and there, the cash flow will eventually get to the point that you need to, but it's really hard to look at one deal before you've even gotten a refinance or a sale or something like that back to get your money back and expect to be financially free. It's really honestly probably not going to happen. But if you got anything out of this video, and if this helped you kind of shift your mindset a little bit on how to look at real estate, go ahead and drop a like. I would really appreciate that. It helps me know what type of videos to keep making. So thank you. Have a good one.